Hello, and welcome back to Old School Nana. Today I'm standing out in front of the schoolhouse in the roads for a reason. I want to read aloud a story to you about children that might have been able to go to school here during the 1930s and 40s. They would have walked along these rock roads that you see. They would have walked this road that is running north and south, or they may have walked the other road that you might be able to see over here at the crossroads. It runs east and west. The road that is running to the north, if you can see those trees way back there in the distance, they are actually in Kansas. That's the state line. We're barely into Oklahoma by only a half mile. If we were to go south down this road, we would go down a hill and come to Russell Creek. If we go east on this road, about a half mile, we'll end up around the Neosho River. And going west on this road, well, today you'd get to the highway. But what I'm hoping you can see is the change in the seasons that is occurring right now. The prairie grasses are beginning to change color, turning yellows and browns, and the leaves on the trees are beginning to turn yellow and orange. So come on inside with me and let's sit down and get cozy and comfortable as we read aloud today's story. It's called The Harvest Festival at Russell Creek School. And while I'm reading to you today, I'm wondering if this would be something you would enjoy doing, whether you're young or just young at heart. Perhaps you wouldn't mind illustrating this story for me. I'm not a good artist, but I know that you are. So maybe you could see if someone would help you, and you could get some crayons or some markers and some paper, and you could draw what you are hearing as I'm reading aloud to you. Maybe you might want to draw something about the little pumpkin sitting in the east window, or maybe children jumping in crunchy leaves, or maybe Miss Sherman ringing the big school bell outside. Well, whatever it is you decide to do while you're listening, get cozy, get comfy, and listen as I read aloud to you The Harvest Festival at Russell Creek Schoolhouse. The air in Oklahoma had turned crisp by October, the hayfields brown now, and the oak trees behind the schoolhouse were dressed in amber and gold. The schoolhouse was surrounded by golden fields and the crisp rustle of falling leaves. The children wore heavier sweaters and jackets now, their cheeks pink from the cool wind as they walked the rock road to school. Each morning, Briar and his cousin Amelia walked hand in hand to school, their shoes crunching against the gravel. The large iron bell rang out as they approached. Miss Sherman's strong pull on the rope, calling children for far and near to gather in. Briar tugged his collar close, while Amelia laughed at the way her curls whipped in the breeze. Hazel's red hair, which she insisted was orange, gleamed like fire in the sunlight, and little Henry hopped to avoid the crunchy leaves on the ground. Bellamy, Delilah, and Vivian followed, with their lunch pails swinging as they chattered about the day ahead. As usual, William and Noah, the twins, lagged far behind, lost in a pretend world that only twins can understand. Miss Sherman greeted them at the door with her warm smile. Inside, the pumpkin still sat on the east windowsill, proud and steady. Its orange glow reminded them that autumn was here to stay. The children filled the cloakrooms, girls on one side and boys on the other, as they carefully hung their sweaters and jackets on the hooks. That afternoon, Miss Sherman announced a surprise. Since the harvest is all around us, we'll have a little festival of our own, she said. The children cheered, thrilled at the idea that they would create autumn games and activities using leaves, pumpkins, apples, pine cones, acorns, and anything else they could find in the expansive yard of the schoolhouse. The entire one-room school was buzzing with ideas. At recess, they raced into the yard. Hazel and Vivian made a game of jumping into piles of leaves. Briar and Bellamy set up a pumpkin rolling contest. Delilah, William, and Noah tossed apples back and forth, while Amelia helped Henry line up pine cones and acorns and helped him count to see how many there were of each. Their laughter rang across the hayfields, carried by the October wind. Back inside, the wood-burning stove gave off its first gentle warmth of the season, and the classroom glowed with cheer. Miss Sherman encouraged each child to write a short verse or story or song about autumn. She even encouraged the younger children to compose a short story by using pictures. Amelia wrote about the crunch of leaves beneath her shoes. Briar's poem described the wide Oklahoma sky, brushed with wild geese flying south. Hazel wrote of the smell of apples stored in barrels at home. And Vivian wrote of the amazing aroma of bread baking in her mom's kitchen. Bellamy captured the whistling of the prairie wind. And William and Noah wrote about golden light on the fields. Delilah drew a picture of the little pumpkin sitting in the east windowsill. Henry's simple lines made everyone smile. Pumpkin in the window, shining in the sun. School is warm and happy. Autumn's just begun, he said. The children clapped for one another, and Miss Sherman's eyes shone. Yes, she said softly. This is exactly what harvest days at Russell Creek feel like, full of schoolwork and laughter, learning and play, and the joy of being together. That afternoon, as the sun slipped low in the west, the children pulled on their sweaters and jackets from the cloakroom. Outside, the October air had grown cold, but their hearts felt warm. The pumpkin's orange glow was the last thing they saw as they waved goodbye, carrying the joy of autumn home along the rock road. As the sun slanted through the waving prairie grass, casting a shadow, it was a quiet reminder that fall is a season of wonder, activity, and warmth. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's story. I hope that you're able to draw some illustrations for the story. Maybe draw a few pictures of the things that you have seen and heard today. Maybe your parents or someone might want to rewind it several times so you can hear it over and over, just in case I moved on too fast for you to be able to finish your picture. But the most important thing that Nana can tell you today is this, just in case nobody has told you today, Nana loves you.